Gentlemen, welcome back to the shop. Today's project is probably 10 years overdue. I've got a little buzzbox arc welder, AC only, but we'll get to making it DC as well in a future video. But we'll be making a welding cart for it. I've already cut most of the steel. We'll cut the rest as we go along. It's all 25 by 25 by 1.6 square tubing, or 1 inch by 1 inch square tubing, as you put it. Guys put it in the States. So I think let's get cracking and start welding this up. As this is very thin wall tubing, we'll be running 60-13 rods at round about, I think it's about 90 amps if I look at it. So let's get cracking. As you can see over here, I attack the outside corners first. That creates the least distortion in my opinion. Over time, that's what I found. So I'll first weld the outside corners and then progress inwards to and then it sort of stays square. Okay, so this little corner, that will be the front of the welding cart. I just made it a little, put in a little mitre in there, just not to have it as box shaped as it should have, as it would have been otherwise. You'll see I'm still using the welding magnets. Not the best, they work, but it's not the best idea. I've got a couple of things that I want to do and move up to and change up. In future projects we'll see how it goes, but for now the magnets, they bring their point. Alright, once we've got everything tacked together and checked squareness again, we just carry on welding them all up. Okay, so my welder was set a bit high and I burned a couple of holes through, so I just Texas stick them shut again and use the grinder. Grinder and paint makes me the welder I am. Right, gentlemen, now that we've got the first one done, I've put in the little center brace. We're using it as a template for the second one, and we're just going to tack that in, and once we've got it tacked in and straightened out, I'll gun it and get it welded together. I've taken the welding machine down to 75 amps. 90 was, it seems like 90 was a bit hot, so let's tack it on 75. Once again, there you can see me just starting the tacks on the outside, welding the outside first and then progressing inwards. I also try and weld opposite corners after each other. It's just in terms of heat dissipation, it gives the weld some time to cool down before you get back to it. I found that helps as well. In this section over here, I'm tacking in the cross sections. When it will be standing upright, there'll be the cross beams. You'll see later on I made a total ash of it, and I actually tried to put in effort to get it square, but I think this thing pulled from the one end to the other. I didn't really realize it until it was almost too late, but let's keep cracking. Guys, that's part of it. Learn as you go along. I'm always learning. I'm trying to always focus and look back on what I did and what I did wrong. I must say the videos help a lot with that. Try and learn from each mistake you make. Luckily, your time's your own. If you're not doing this type of thing for someone getting paid for it, you're in luck. If you're getting paid for it, it might create a bit of an issue, but your time's your own. So if you learn something, it's not wasted. Okay, so for this next portion, I've got some 20 by 4.5 flat bar. It's gonna basically sit in there, and then the wooden shelf will fit on top of it, and if everything goes to plan, it will be just shy of being totally level. So there will be a little bit of a lip. It looks like about 2 millimeters on that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp them like this, and then weld from the other side. Alright gents, the next portion will be the hanger for the supply cables at the back, not the welding cables but the supply cables to the welding machines. What I've got here is a little offcut of 20 by 4.5 flat bar. I'm just going to chip it, bend it in a U-shaped hook and weld the insides, and then we'll weld it onto the welding cart. Sorry for the shakiness, but I'm doing this by hand, and just as you think you're doing okay, you realize you made a hash of the whole thing, and you're going to grind it off and basically start from scratch. Alright, so I've split the welds all along these lines over here, down at the bottom, on both sides. As I've done that, it actually went back into square a little bit, so it released some tension into it, but we're not there yet, as you can see there. And this one as well. This one actually almost sprung back into square. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you guys have seen these chassis straighteners where you just give it enough PSI and somehow it comes straight again. I've got a little truck ratchet strap on here. I'm going to start welding this one back up because this one is square. Then I'm going to clock this one. Well, I might clock the center one. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Clock the center one, get that back into square, and then we will manipulate the edges. So what I've done is I've cut through the welds. There's still some dressing that needs to be done. I'm going to do that first. I don't think I'm going to film that, but I'll get you back once we start putting tension on this thing. Alright, I think the prep work's done. As you can see, we're still a bit skew here on the front end. I don't know if, yeah, well, okay, I can show you this one. This one is the worst one. So what we're going to do is put on the ratchet strap here. I'm going to pull these two corners towards each other, so that'll flex in that direction and take out any out of squareness. Well, as far as we can. Let's see what we can get. something cracks. I think there we go. Oh, almost, but I did think. I wonder if I should leave it like this one. No, I think I'm going to go give it one more. There we go. Money shot. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to tack weld this side. I'm just going to put a piece of rag on here, or maybe an old welding glove so I don't burn through. Yeah, I'm going to put a wet rag on here so I can just tack weld there, and then the bottom end, and then I can probably take this off. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so now that I've welded this one in, this one has pulled far out of line again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this one back into place, which was the one that was square when I cut off the welds. So you constantly have to keep checking this, working on it. I realize now what my mistake was. Maybe this side, maybe I should tack this side in first, because this looks like this was the worst one and it's now the better one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack this one in, weld this one in, make sure that it's square, and then we can stretch this one back to where it needs to be. Let me just make sure, because this one seems like it's right on the money now. This is going to be it. Right, this thing is walking in all directions as we weld it. That's the thing about thin wall tubing, it tends to walk a little bit more than thick metal. So as you can see here, we've got about 9 millimeters, just about a foot. What I'm going to do is I am going to stretch this one back in now. So what you want to do is you want to check, just sit and for the young guys, just sit and work it out in your head for a while. Don't sit on your phone, because then you're never going to figure something out. Obviously, these two diagonals are now shorter than the longer than these two. I know that out of experience. Otherwise, if you haven't got the experience, guys, like I said, especially the young guys, take a tape measure and measure the damn thing. Okay, so I think this video is getting a bit long-winded. I'm going to try and wrap this up as quick as I can. Next step would be the brackets for the grinders and for all the welding cables. The welding cable brackets I'm going to do the same as I've done the supply lead at the back, the only thing is I'm going to do it as a bolt-on type thing, and the angle grinder bracket I'm going to do with a piece of angle iron, and it's also going to be a bolt-on. The reason for making it a bolt-on is I might change it out. I don't know exactly where the welder's going to spend its rest of his life, so I might want the one on the one end and one on the other side, that sort of thing. I've got it going in my head and I can't really decide, so I said let's screw it on and then we can change it afterwards. So what I'm going to do is this is basically going to be the cable hangers. Going to chip it again, weld it in the middle, fold it up, weld it in the middle, and we're going to have 3 hangers like that. The angle grinder bracket, I've got these little tabs that I'm going to just weld on the corners here, and then once we've got everything painted we will screw everything back on. Let's get this last little piece going. I'm going to speed it up once again, and I'll get you back when we're done. Alright gentlemen, this is it. I think we're done with the steel work. I'm just going to slap some paint on it. I'll see if I can get some footage of the spray paint. Then just the shelves. The shelves I'm going to do out of MDF. Right gentlemen, let's wrap this project up. I'm going to put the cable hangers and the grinder rack on. I'm going to put them on the same side. I think the welding machine is going to stand here underneath my welding bench, and we'll see if it makes a lot of noise in future videos. Then I might move it, but then we can also change the racks out if we need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use tack screws to put them all together, and let's get cracking. Gentlemen, there we have it. Our little welding car is complete. I decided to put the grinder bracket and the cable racks on the same side. I think it came out good. I'm fairly happy with it. It'll fit underneath the fabrication table. I'll put a link up in the corner there for you on that project. And with that, I'm going to call it. If you don't mind, please rate, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell so you don't miss any other videos. And as always, stay safe.